Alleluia, Christ is risen.
The Lord is risen indeed. Alleluia.
You can't sit down till I get what I want. Alleluia, Christ is risen.
The Lord is risen indeed. Alleluia.
Have a seat. This morning I bring you greetings, as I always like to do, from our fellow Episcopalians, congregations and schools and special ministries from Jensen Beach in the north-south. We come from many countries, we speak many languages, and we embody many cultures. But we are united, as we said at the beginning of this liturgy, in one Lord and one baptism. Can you hear me all right at the back of the church? You can, all right. Those of you asleep on the other side, can you hear? All right. I got some hands up from this end, but not from over there. Ah, someone's just woken up, thank you. It's a real joy for Kate and me to be back with you at St. Mark's this morning. We always love being here. So much extraordinary ministry happens here, both in parish and in school. And your clergy and lay leaders contribute so much beyond yourselves to the wider church and the broader community. I'm delighted that your rector is back fresh from his sabbatical, full of vim and vigor. I can be the bishop for the next 30 years, and I've told Jim he can't either die or retire till I've finally given up. So we're both in this for the long haul together, Father. That's right. Ah, look. They seem to agree. How nice. Perhaps you should go on sabbatical more often. You know, absence makes the heart grow fonder. As the bishop, I'm always grateful for your life and work, as well as for your support and hospitality to your fellow Episcopalians. And I always know that I can count on this community. And I'm always renewed and encouraged when I'm with you. In fact, Kate said just before the Mass began tonight, let's move your office up here. You'd need to provide me with a helicopter, however, and we'd need to talk a little bit, or a yacht. Actually, this is actually sounding quite good, darling. Maybe we should move up here. Thank you for all the gifts that you give to me as your bishop, that you give to your clergy. Thank you for the gifts that you give to this wider community. And of course, thank you for the gift that you are to each other in building up the Christian community in this place. And this morning, I want to congratulate those who are taking a next step in their life in this community. Gianna, who won't remember a word I say. That's all right, most of you won't remember a word I say. But Gianna, who won't remember a word I say, who's being baptized this morning, as well as all of the rest of you who are being confirmed and received and who are renewing your baptismal promises. This is a wonderful day for all of you, for your families, and for this Christian community of which you are a part and in which you are making this extraordinary commitment today. You know, there's one person with discernment in this entire room, and she's just made her voice known. Or is it a he? She, very good. I thought I could tell the difference. And of course, I want to wish all mothers and grandmothers and great-grandmothers who are here today a happy Mother's Day. And I hope that as we live our common life together here at St. Mark's in Palm Beach Gardens, that you pray regularly for your clergy, their families, your lay leaders, all those who work so hard both in parish and in school. And please know that I pray for you every day. As I said at the beginning of this service, we're about halfway through the Easter season, which lasts until the Feast of Pentecost next month. We say in the church that Easter is a season and not a single day, and we say this for a reason. For we are summoned in the life of the church during this season to enter into the contemplation and exploration of the greatest truth that lies at the heart of our life. In our gospel reading this morning, a group of people come to Jesus and demand a plain and simple answer to who he is. Are you the Messiah? They challenge him. Tell us plainly. Yes or no? Yes or no? It's an understandable question. Life is complicated, and we want clear answers to difficult questions. And the longer we live, the more complicated the questions become. And we live with some of these questions for our entire lives. Why is my dearest friend imprisoned by addiction? Why has my marriage failed? Why don't my parents get it? I'm terribly sorry, that's a question that you young people are going to be asking for the rest of your lives. Why don't my parents get it? Why hasn't my professional life worked out in the way that I had hoped when I first entered the field in which I have given all of my talent and energy? Why did my child die? Whether it is politics or health or our children's education or how to make our communities safer places for everyone or even surviving the renovation of a house, we all know the temptation of wanting the hardest things in our life, the deepest questions, sorted out quickly, easily, and clearly. It's a natural human instinct. But as I say, we learn the longer we live that in fact our lives are journeys into deeper questions rather than to clearer answers. This is not some clever avoidance. It is a growing recognition of what it means for us to live in a daily encounter with the truth. When you and I were baptized, we were brought into a very different relationship with God and the world. We were brought into the realm not of the easy answer. We were brought into the realm of mystery. And for our life in God, we were not given a series of answers. We were given other things. We were given the scriptures. We were given the liturgy. We were given music and art and prayer, generations of experience and commitment, a well of wisdom for the living of life. Someone has said quite rightly that we do not grasp God, God grasps us and holds us in an embrace that will not let us go and will not be satisfied with the easy answer or the quick fix. When we decide to live the Christian life, we make a choice to live with love and beauty and mystery and sacrifice, and none of these things are one-dimensional. We were brought into a life in God, the first premise of which is that we must learn to rest in awe and wonder and allow this God who has brought us here to embrace us and to open up before us the eternal dimensions of his life that he gives to us so freely. At the heart of this life of God that he gives to us so freely is the resurrection. The resurrection is not something that we can easily understand. Even those who were the witnesses to Jesus' resurrection were confounded by their encounters with the risen Lord. Each of the stories in the New Testament, in the Gospels, and even later on in the Acts of the Apostles, in the encounter of St. Paul with the risen Lord, all of these encounters are very complicated. It took Jesus' followers time and experience to know and understand that he had been truly raised from the dead. And it took them time to learn the consequences of this new reality for themselves and for the whole of creation. And so we are given this season of Easter, this 7-week season, for the same reason, so that we may spend time once again this year to give ourselves intentionally to that lifelong journey into the mystery of God's life that promises us eternity even now in the ups and downs of the life we live in these moments, and opens us up to truth, and opens up to us truth and meaning that is sometimes difficult to put into words, but is yet so life-giving. To enter into mystery, to enter into the mystery of God, is the call of each Christian. It is not easy or straightforward. There are no easy answers in life, really, at least not to the serious questions. There is only the choice to give ourselves more completely to the trust and the love and the truth that we see in Jesus. Because in the face of our questions, God gives us a life. God gives us his life in Jesus, full of grace and truth. And it is in Jesus' life that we come to learn the truth of our own life, the mystery of our own being, and the calling of our own purpose. Our deepest questions are often asked through tears. And as we heard in our second reading this morning, God's promise to us is not that we shall not weep. God's promise to us is that God will wipe away all the tears from our eyes. This morning, Jesus invites us into that life of the Father, which he says in our gospel reading today is greater than all else. This is the journey that Gianna begins this morning with her baptism, and those whom we are confirming and receiving, and whose baptismal vows we are renewing, are along which they are taking another step. And all those who are making this commitment this morning remind us that this is our journey too. I don't know if you were paying much attention to the hymn that you just sang, but the final verse sums all of this up so neatly. My soul, bear thou thy part, triumph in God above, and with a well-tuned heart sing thou the songs of love. Let all thy days, till life shall end, whate'er he send, be filled with praise. The answer to our questions is love. Love raised from the dead, triumphant over evil. Love that holds us in his hands, and against whom there can be no defeat. Alleluia. Christ is risen.
The Lord is risen indeed. Alleluia.
Quite right.